Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a Stripe AI agent that creates new customers, sends invoices, and also sends web payment links. So let's get right to it. So first thing, if you want this workflow, you can grab it in the description below. This workflow, ideally, you'd want it to be executed by another workflow. So if you have like operator agent, then that agent can use this workflow as a tool and just call this Stripe agent when you need things done. But for right now, for testing purposes, we will be using the chat message. So let's say I want to just like check my revenue. How much did I make this month? So it's going to go in, check the date and time, convert it to Unix because Stripe requires that, and then do a revenue check. And it says your net revenue for this month was $6,311. And so if I were to take a look at Stripe, we see that I have one invoice that was paid, and that was $6,500. And then Stripe kind of took its haircut off the top for it. And so now if I wanted to make like an invoice, it'll be like create an invoice for Justin. His email is, and this is my email, one of my emails, for $2,000 over AI consulting. His business address is 123 Main Street, Austin, Texas. And so the reason why I added the business address is because if you want to send an invoice and have taxes handled by Stripe automatically, you need to have a billing address for this business. So that's why we're doing that. So we'll see here, it jumps in, it searches the customer, create customer, then it does the invoice item, the draft, and then it sends the invoice. And then it goes, hey, invoice for $2,000 for AI consulting has been created and sent to Justin at that email. The invoice is open and can be viewed or paid via the link, and then it sends you the link. And so if we were to jump back to Stripe and I go to open, I can see here that I have one open for Justin at the email we provided. And so how does this all work? So initially, the agent pretty much just takes input from either the other agent in the workflow above or your chat, and we have a prompt here that you can pause the video and just like copy and paste it or download from the link below. And we're just telling it, hey, you're a chief Stripe agent. You're going to handle everything regarding to Stripe. Before you do anything, before you make any calls, we're going to need you to go to the date and time tool at least once, and then grab whatever day and time it is, and then convert all that to Unix, and then always measure from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And so when creating an invoice, you need to first check if the customer exists in our database. If they don't exist, then make a new customer. And then after getting the customer ID, follow this workflow. Create invoice item, create invoice draft, and then send the invoice. And then if creating a payment link, return the payment link to the user. And so if we were to first jump into search customers, it's very simple call. We're just doing a call to this customer's endpoint that Stripe has. And then what you'll have to do is predefine a credential type and then look for Stripe. And then once you're in there, you can add your own Stripe key from Stripe's website. You would just go create a Stripe account and then grab the API key that they give you. And they have sandbox API keys and then also production API keys. For this example, we're just doing the sandbox one. And then from there, well, what do we want to search our users by? And typically, I'm going to be sending emails to people to get these invoices sent over to them. So I want to make sure if I have their email in my database. For the query parameters, we'll put in email, and then we'll let the model define it. And the description is just the customer's email. And so it'll search for customers, looked for Justin and didn't find him. Then we'll jump over to creating Justin in our database. And so the first thing you're going to see here, our AI already found the name, line 1, line 2, the state, country, and if we have a postal code, it'll put it in. If we don't, it'll void it, and then the email. And we'll let the model define this automatically. Once done, it'll create a customer with a valid billing address. So then from there, it'll jump over and create the invoice item, which we'll be doing a post request at the invoice items endpoint, once again, using our Stripe credentials. And then we'll jump down to a field called amount for the query parameters. I pretty much gave it a description that's like, hey, this is the amount we're invoicing the client for, but it has to be in cents per Stripe's API. And so I just gave it an example. What currency? USD. If you have a different currency, you can change that here. And then for the description, you can just make a description based on the input. So for our example with Justin, we said AI consulting. And then the customer will pretty much just be the customer ID. And so we see that up here. And so once it creates the invoice item, we're going to look at the creating invoice draft. And so here, now it's going to be drafting this invoice up for us. It's going to be at a post request at the invoices endpoint. And then for the query parameters, we're going to go, again, use this customer. And then for collection method, we're going to have this to send invoice. Days until due, you can change this. I typically have this to 1. They have to either pay within a day or it voids. If we jump over to automatic underscore tax. Now this is super important. It says enabled and true. This is why I provided the user's billing address. If the user billing address wasn't provided and you tried doing this workflow, this would fail when it tried to send because it doesn't know what tax to collect because it doesn't know where they're at. So if you don't know their billing address, you can change this to false, or you can have the AI decide it, which is probably an even better solution now that I think about it. You can have the AI decide this, and if the AI sees that there was a billing address for the customer, then turn this to true. If not, turn it to false. And so that actually might be the enhancement I'll do to that one. And then if you jump over at the end, send invoice is just grabbing that invoice ID and sending it. And so now if I want to use the payment link, I can go create me a payment link for AI consultation for $3,000. So to jump through, create the payment link, and then goes, hey, I've created a payment link for AI consultation for $3,000. You can share this link with your client to make the payment. And then if you were to go to this link, it'll be the payment link. Let's say I've made probably, I don't know, 20 of these, and I'm talking to someone and they're probably like, they really want my services. We're kind of in passing, maybe talking in person. And then I'll go, let me just send them this payment link, but I have like 30 payment links. I can just go, can you grab me the payment link for AI consulting? So it'll go based off of the name that you provided, and it'll come back and it's like, the payment link for AI consulting is this. And then now you can probably extrapolate this and make it even better by having this integrated with your Gmail. So in that agent above, which is what I have, the agent above this one is an operator agent. It's tapped into my Gmail as well. And it can now send this automatically. So from my phone, I can be like, I'm talking to Kevin right now, and I'd like to send him the payment link for AI consulting. And then it'll immediately send it to him. So while I'm still having the conversation with Kevin, he already has the payment link, and it's just speed to leads everything. So it's just like super whiz bang to have this implemented and sent directly to them. And from here, that's pretty much the AI agent in a nutshell. If you found this super helpful, just subscribe and leave a comment down below.